and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host, and if you hear a conversation background, I do apologize. But let's go ahead and move forward. So the movie I just finished up, and I'm pretty excited to watch this because I wasn't planning on watching this. I just randomly found it because I was switching movies I was going to watch. But I figured let's go ahead and watch this movie before I get to episode 400. I believe episode 400. Maybe it's episode 300. I think it was 400. One of those numbers. But the movie I'm reviewing is an action movie. And this is an action movie that was not made by Universal, but was distributed by Universal. And I'll talk about the studio that made this. And we're talking about the Dan Stevens. I believe this has Bianca Moreau. This also has, I'm going to run down the cast. It also has Lena Leland Orshire, Shelley Kelly, Brendan Myers, and Lance Reddick. I'm pronouncing that wrong. Written and directed by Adam Weingard. I believe he wrote this. Did he write this? I don't think he did, but he did add the movie. And the movie I'm going to talk about is 2013's The Guest. Now, The Guest is a movie that I was really intrigued in checking out. But the studio I want to talk about right now is the company that made this, Picture House Productions. A little history about Picture House Productions. Picture House Productions started life as a company for New Line Cinema. They made movies like Pan's Labyrinth and A Prairie Home Companion and The King of Kong's A Fistful of Quarters, among others. Picture House made those for New Line Cinema. Then they defunct and they made a comeback with this movie here. This was, like I said, distributed by Universal right here, so that's why it's qualified for this series. So, aside from a different distribution, different studio, what did I think of the movie The Guest? And I gotta tell you, this is a masterpiece. Not a new masterpiece, not almost masterpiece, a very phenomenal masterpiece. Yeah, let's talk about The Guest. So, The Guest is a movie that, like I said, I was intrigued with the cast in this. Let's talk about the movie. So, Dan Stevens plays a man named David Collins. So, David is this guy who's sort of like, he randomly comes to meet, well, he's a guest to a family. But they don't know who he really is until he introduces himself saying, well, I'm a veteran. But then all of a sudden, is he a veteran? Or is he a hitman? So, he's a veteran, I believe, veteran who is wanted by the military police. So, he bonds and becomes friends with the family. He meets a kid who teaches him about self-defense. The one daughter is a waitress at a diner. So basically, she works at the diner, and he basically gives him tips. So him and the one son, he's actually played by Brendan Myers, who I didn't know this, but was in my favorite Haunting Hour episode, Creature Feature. So he has a supporting role in that episode. And so he was in this. So he gets picked on in school, and he doesn't know self-defense. Well, David teaches him the ropes of self-defense. So he takes the idea, he takes him over to the bar and teaches him about, well, defending yourself. So he gets into a bar fight with a bunch of these guys, a couple of bar fights, and he's having himself a mixed drink, and he's having a soda. So he gives a kid one gulp of his mixed drink, and it's like really made of hot peppers. So he basically defends himself by throwing that mixed drink on the guy's eyes, and like it's like burned like hot peppers get into the guy's eyes, and basically beats the crap out of him. But indeed, that's really what it is. And yeah, it is, without going into detail, this movie, guys, this is a phenomenal masterpiece. And it comes with the performance of Dan Stevens playing this guy. Like, he may be the nicest guy, but inside the mind, inside the guy's brain, he's a sociopathic monster who just really, he's sort of Hitman. Although he meets up with another guy played by Joel David Moore. And if you ever watched the movie Dodgeball, Avatar, and Grandma's Boy, that's who he's been in before. And he's the guy that helps sell him some firearms. So the other guy, he tells him about that. So he's unhooking up the gun. He's inspecting it, make sure there's no dirt, making sure the gun's not jammed. So after he puts it together, he goes after the two guys, killing both of them instantly. That's not a spoiler. That's like mid through the film. And I'm sitting there like that. I'm like, I'm like, oh, I'm telling you, yeah, he killed him. That is intense. This movie is wall action. Keeps you glued to the very end. And I love the guess. The climax at the end is really, really good. Like I said, there's one scene where the kid does defend himself. And all of a sudden, the kid literally, he makes fun of him. Not gonna say what he says, but he makes fun of him. He name calls him. So the kid had enough with him, and then he's looking on the computer about something, and the kid's like saying, "Oh, are you gonna get a sex change?" So right then he smacks the kid real hard. The kid got his chin hurt, so the kid smacks him, like decks him like that, and all of a sudden he's like hit real hard. He pushes him right down there. He grabs a yardstick, smacks the kid right in the cheek with a yardstick. So he's getting sent to the principal's office, and the principal tells him, "Hey, well, you're gonna get expelled for that." So David tells him that, he's like, what did he call this young man? And he said he called him that name. He name called him. I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want the YouTube police to attack me, what I'm gonna say, but that's literally what it is. And he's telling him that, saying that is a hate crime, right? So he cons the principal to saying that if you expel him, we're going to send you to court and get a good lawyer. So he cons the principal saying, I can give him after school detention. How? 1 month. You got a deal. Okay. You got after school detention. After school detention 1 month. And then all of a sudden he's like, high fives him. And then he tells him that he conned him. So there's a scene where they're spinning the camera, and that right there is the style of director Adam Wingard. And I never watched much of this guy's stuff, but after watching this, I gotta watch, not really cover. Unless he makes a movie for Universal, then I'll cover. But I gotta watch more of this guy's works because he is just so good. The final climax, as I said, when the military police, and basically, I'm not telling you how that ends, but let's just say the final climax is great. Also, there's another final ending that makes you think, is it going to open up for a sequel? Well, as of now, it didn't open up for a sequel because I don't think this did well. But regardless of what I said, I'm going to tell you right now, if you've never seen The Guest, you have to see The Guest. It may have the dumbest title, and I hate to say this, but the cover kind of, if you saw earlier in the video, the cover kind of gave away what the ending was. That didn't really help, but still, the scene again. But then he goes, I forgot to mention, he goes by the name of Lance. So he went by David as an alias, so the military police doesn't catch up to him. But his name is actually Lance. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, ex-soldier. But yeah, this is just wow. I mean, I'm pleasantly shocked. I thought this was just going to be a mediocre action film, start to finish. But it is not just an action film. It's an action film. It's a drama with a touch of horror. Horror. I don't know why I'm saying the other word, but it's horror in the film. I know the English language isn't perfect, but still. This actually says from the creator of Your Next. I used to have Your Next, but I don't have it anymore. But yeah, aside from that, I think I mentioned everything about it. I'm going to tell you right now, this movie, I'm going to tell you right now, The Guest is going to be on my best list. This is automatically, this qualifies to be in my 10 best list at the end of the year. It's definitely so good. This movie is everything of what I wanted in an action film. From a new director I've never heard of, Adam Wingard. I'm sure a lot of people love him, but from an actor like Dan Stevens, who can put on an amazing performance, I could see why that he was casted in the Hulu TV series Welcome to Chippendales, where he took on the Paul Schneider role in that Hulu TV movie. And I gotta tell you, I looked at photos of him playing the guy, and wow, like he was also in the remake to Beauty and the Beast. He was the Beast in that. So yeah, he was also in Downton Abbey, which I didn't even really know. But wow, for a first time actor I've never even heard of, or I've heard of, but I didn't watch much movies with him in it. I'm just going to tell you right now, see The Guest. It's really just that good of a movie. Similar to another movie I covered, Breaking In, this was another true example of how you do a film. But I mean, Breaking In was different than this, but as action films go, this movie is so good. From start to finish. It's not boring. The writing is extremely solid. Did he write this? Trying to think. I don't think he wrote this. It just says directed and edited. Oh no, Simon Barletta. Simon Barletta wrote this. It feels like he wrote this because his style of directing is the style that I love. I feel like this has sort of like been forgotten. And I heard about this movie. I mean, shout out to Mid-Level who has reviewed the 4K Arrow. But if you're watching, buddy, this is great. This is so awesome. Actually, this was a Dollar Tree pickup. I actually got this at a Dollar Tree when they had their Dollar Tree DVDs. I did miss Dollar Tree having their DVDs. But this is phenomenal. I think I praised this way too much as it is. Please see The Guest. I'm telling you guys, it is so good. Best list for sure. Top 10 for sure. But yeah, there you go. So now let's go ahead and rate this before I forget to rate it. So I am going to give The Guest, you know what this is going to be, automatic 5 out of 5. I loved The Guest. This is a solid S-tier film, and that is only why I stand of what I rate the film. But it would have got lower had it didn't bore me. But this movie is not boring in any way else. That's why it is what I'm going to give this movie. And a 5 out of 5 is what I'm giving this. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for sure. So that's my review of The Guest. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content of the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all my video notifications so you can find out what I review on the channel. So, yeah. Yeah, do yourself a favor, go watch The Guest. Great movie, masterpiece for sure. So, we are down to one more movie before I get to The Milestone. And The Milestone movie, I'm keeping that hidden no pun intended, until I get to that. So hopefully I get to that number, and I'm sure we're only down to one more, and then the 400th episode. So yeah, that's it, guys. And yeah, and as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.